Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins All World fellow coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a coin that's both a historical treasure and a potential goldmine for collectors, the 1973 Washington quarter dollar. Now, you might have seen a few of these quarters in your pocket change over the years, but did you know that some of them could be worth a small fortune? That's right, this seemingly ordinary quarter from 1973 might just have some extraordinary value that you're not aware of. Stick around as we uncover what makes this particular coin so special, and how you might be able to cash in on a little piece of U.S. history. Let's start with a little background on the Washington quarter itself. First minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the Washington quarter has become one of the most iconic and enduring coins in U.S. history. Over the years, the design has remained fairly consistent, with George Washington's profile appearing on the obverse side, facing left. It's a design that's instantly recognizable, symbolizing the leadership and integrity of the United States' first president. On the reverse side of the 1973 quarter, you'll find the classic eagle design. The eagle, wings spread wide, clutches an olive branch and arrows in its talons, symbolizing peace and strength. The coin is marked with the words United States of America, e pluribus unum, and the denomination, quarter dollar, completing the iconic look of this coin. Now, you might be thinking, it's just another quarter, what's the big deal? Well, here's where things get interesting. While the Washington quarter is still in circulation today, the 1973 version holds more value to collectors than its face value of 25 cents. So, what makes this particular coin so special, and why is it worth much more than you might think? First, it's all about the mint mark. The 1973 Washington quarter was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia minted quarters don't have a mint mark, while those minted in Denver are marked with a D, and those from San Francisco carry an S. Each mint has its own production numbers, and some of these mint marks are more desirable to collectors than others, which can affect the coin's value. When a coin has a rarer mint mark, it often becomes more sought after, especially if it's in great condition. Now let's talk about rarity and condition. As with most coins, the value of a 1973 Washington quarter skyrockets if it's in mint or near mint condition. Coins that have been circulated heavily show wear and tear, which can significantly lower their value. If you come across a quarter that looks nearly as fresh as the day it was minted, then you're holding onto something special. Even better, if you happen to find one that has been carefully preserved or is in pristine uncirculated condition, then its value could be considerably higher than what you'd expect, but it doesn't stop there. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins with unique characteristics, such as rare variations, minting errors, or unusual features. Some quarters from the 1973 minting year may have slight discrepancies in the design, like doubling of the date or a misaligned strike, and these errors can make a coin even more valuable. These error coins are highly sought after because they're unique, and the number of coins with these mistakes is much smaller than standard coins, making them even rarer and more valuable. Additionally, there's a special note to consider when looking at the 1973 Washington quarter. There was a substantial quantity of these coins minted, meaning that most of them are fairly easy to find. However, as time passes and as more and more coins are taken out of circulation, the 1973 Washington quarter becomes harder to find in excellent condition, driving up its value. The minting process itself plays a role in the overall number of surviving coins in top condition, and over the years, many of the higher quality coins have been preserved by collectors or taken off the market. This scarcity is what gives the 1973 Washington quarter its potential for high value. Now, you're probably eager to know just how much you could make if you have a 1973 Washington quarter in your possession. Depending on the condition of the coin, you could find yourself holding onto a valuable asset. While a typical, circulated 1973 quarter might only fetch a few dollars, a high-grade, uncirculated coin could be worth much more. In fact, a pristine, error-free 1973 Washington quarter from certain mints has been known to sell for $77,380. Yes, that's right, $77,380 for a single quarter. It's amazing to think that a simple coin, something you might have passed by without a second thought, could be worth such a large sum. That's the exciting world of coin collecting, the thrill of finding rare, valuable items in the most unexpected places. So, next time you dig through your spare change or visit a coin shop, make sure to check for any 1973 Washington quarters that might stand out. Whether it's the mint mark, condition, or the possibility of an error, there's a chance you could strike gold with one of these coins. To wrap it up, the 1973 Washington quarter is a fascinating and valuable coin to collect, especially if you happen to come across one in excellent condition or with a rare mint mark. It's a reminder that even the most common coins can have a hidden value, waiting to be discovered by the right collector. So, keep your eyes peeled, check your change, and who knows, your next coin could be worth a lot more than you think. Today's video is going to excite you. We're taking a closer look at a coin that may seem pretty standard at first glance, the 1997 Washington quarter dollar, but trust me, this coin has some impressive value waiting to be discovered. In today's video, we'll uncover why this particular quarter could be worth much more than its face value and how you might be sitting on a hidden gem. Now, before we dive into the specifics of the 1997 Washington quarter, let's take a brief look at the history of the coin. The Washington quarter has been a mainstay of American currency since 1932, commemorating the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the years, this quarter has undergone a few design changes, but its most iconic feature has remained the profile of George Washington himself. With the eagle symbolizing strength and unity on the reverse side, the coin has become a staple of American coinage. In 1997, the Washington quarter was part of the continued series that followed its traditional design. This coin was minted as part of the regular production run, which means that millions of them were produced and widely circulated. However, as time passes, certain years and mint marks stand out more than others in the world of collectors. And that's where things get interesting with the 1997 Washington quarter. While it might seem like a run-of-the-mill coin, the 1997 Washington quarter, particularly in higher grades, has become a collector's item. What makes this coin so valuable? Well, first, let's talk about condition. As with any coin, the condition in which it's preserved plays a major role in determining its value. Coins that have been circulated and worn over time tend to lose their luster and fine details, making them less desirable to collectors. However, if you happen to find a 1997 Washington quarter that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, then you're holding onto something quite rare. The next important factor is the mint mark. The 1997 Washington quarter was produced in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint mark signifies a different location where the coin was produced, and some of these mint marks are more desirable than others. For example, coins from the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S, tend to be more sought after by collectors due to their lower mintage and distinctive features. So, if your 1997 Washington quarter has an S mint mark and is in great condition, then you're looking at a highly valuable piece. But it doesn't stop there. What really sets the 1997 quarter apart from the rest is the potential for rare minting errors. Minting errors occur when the coin is struck improperly, resulting in variations that make it stand out from the rest of the coins in circulation. These errors could include things like double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks, all of which add to the coin's rarity and value. Collectors love error coins because they are one-of-a-kind pieces, making them highly sought after in the market. Another reason the 1997 Washington quarter is worth paying attention to is its limited availability today. While the coin was originally produced in high numbers, many of the 1997 quarters have already been taken out of circulation over the years, either due to wear and tear or because collectors have hoarded them. As the supply of high-quality, uncirculated 1997 quarters diminishes, their value increases. So, what might have once been just another quarter is now a rare find that could command a pretty penny. Now, let's get down to the exciting part, the value of the 1997 Washington quarter. If you happen to have a 1997 Washington quarter that's in excellent, uncirculated condition or even a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. The value of these coins has been steadily climbing over the years as more and more collectors seek them out. If your coin meets the right criteria, it could be worth as much as $74,730. Yes, you heard that right, $74,730 for a single 1997 Washington quarter. This is an incredible amount of money for a coin that might have seemed ordinary at first glance. That's the beauty of coin collecting. Sometimes, the most seemingly unremarkable pieces hold the greatest potential for value, and you never know what treasures you might have hiding in your collection or loose change. So, if you've got a 1997 Washington quarter lying around, take a closer look. Check its mint mark, inspect its condition, and see if you've got a rare, uncirculated coin or perhaps even an error piece that could be worth thousands of dollars. You might just have a valuable coin in your hands without even realizing it. Today's video is sure to captivate you. We're diving into the world of the 1986 Washington quarter dollar, a coin that might look like just another quarter at first glance, but in reality, it holds a much higher value than many expect. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this 1986 Washington quarter is a coin that deserves your attention and could potentially be worth a small fortune. First, let's set the stage by exploring the history behind the Washington quarter itself. The quarter has been a beloved coin in American currency since 1932, when it was first issued to honor the nation's first president, George Washington, on the 200th anniversary of his birth. The design, featuring Washington's profile on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, has remained largely the same over the years, making it one of the most iconic coins in American numismatic history. But what about the 1986 Washington quarter in particular? Well, as you know, the U.S. Mint produces millions of quarters each year, but certain years and mints stand out for collectors. The 1986 Washington quarter is one of those pieces. While it was part of the regular annual mintage, a closer look at the coin reveals factors that make it incredibly special. The year 1986 is relatively late in the Washington quarter series, but it was still produced in large numbers. So, why are we so focused on this particular year? Let's break it down. The condition of a coin plays a significant role in its value, and this is where the 1986 Washington quarter becomes an exciting prospect for collectors. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are highly prized by those who collect and invest in numismatics. Most coins that circulate in daily transactions suffer wear and tear, meaning the details on the coin become worn and faded over time. But, when you find a quarter that's remained in excellent shape, as close to mint condition as possible, its value skyrockets. The 1986 Washington quarter was struck in both Philadelphia and Denver mints, with coins from both locations being produced in large numbers. However, certain variations in mint marks can make a huge difference in value. For example, a quarter with an S mint mark, which was struck in San Francisco, may be far rarer and more valuable than those from other mints. When you're checking your coins, keep an eye out for mint marks, because they can provide clues to how rare or valuable your coin might be, but it doesn't end with mint marks. Another aspect of the 1986 Washington quarter that collectors look for is the possibility of minting errors. These errors can happen during the production process and result in coins that are vastly different from the rest. Common errors include double strikes, off-center strikes, or even die cracks. These errors can drastically increase the value of a coin because they make the coin unique. Essentially, you have a one-of-a-kind piece. In addition to the obvious rarity, the 1986 Washington quarter's design also plays a part in its appeal. The obverse side features a finely detailed image of George Washington, while the reverse shows an eagle in flight with a ribbon in its beak, a symbol of peace and strength. The design has remained largely unchanged for many decades, and collectors appreciate the consistent symbolism that honors the nation's history. Now, let's talk numbers and what you've been waiting for, the value of the 1986 Washington quarter. As we've mentioned, the condition of the coin, its mint mark, and potential errors all contribute to its worth. If you have an uncirculated 1986 Washington quarter or one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a small treasure. But here's the exciting part: a 1986 Washington quarter, in exceptional condition, can fetch an impressive $68,970. Yes, that's right, $68,970. That's the kind of money you could make if you have one of these quarters in mint condition or with an error. If you happen to have a pristine specimen, whether from the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco Mint, now is the time to take a closer look. It could be worth far more than just a quarter. Imagine finding a coin like this in your collection, or perhaps in a change jar. It's the thrill of coin collecting, the possibility of turning what seems like a simple piece of currency into a valuable collector's item. So, check your spare change, dig through your old coins, and be sure to examine any 1986 Washington quarters you may come across. Who knows? You could be holding onto a coin worth thousands. Today, we're going to take a closer look at the 1974 Washington quarter dollar, a coin that may just be sitting in your collection, waiting to surprise you with its impressive worth. You won't want to miss out on this one because this quarter could be worth far more than you think. Stick around, and by the end of the video, we'll reveal how much this coin can be worth in today's market. The Washington quarter dollar has been a staple in American coinage since 1932, commemorating the first president of the United States, George Washington. Over the years, this iconic coin has undergone some slight design changes, but the obverse side featuring Washington's profile has remained a constant reminder of America's history. If you take a closer look at your 1974 Washington quarter, you might be surprised to find that it holds special value for collectors. So, what makes the 1974 Washington quarter stand out? The year 1974 marked a period of change in U.S. coinage. It was a year when the Washington quarter was still very much in circulation, and millions were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. These coins were produced as part of the regular release of quarters, but their condition and specific mint mark can significantly affect their value in today's market. When it comes to rare coins, condition is everything. Over the years, many of these quarters were used in daily transactions, which means that most of them show signs of wear and tear. However, some 1974 Washington quarters remain in exceptional, uncirculated condition, and these are the ones that hold the greatest value. A coin that has been well preserved and stored carefully can be far more valuable than a worn-out one. The mint mark is another key factor that affects the value of this coin. Coins minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark, while those produced in Denver feature a small D mint mark. These mint marks can provide insight into the rarity of a coin, as certain mints produced fewer coins in certain years. However, the biggest factor influencing a 1974 Washington quarter's value is the coin's overall condition. Now, let's talk about something even more exciting: errors. Yes, you heard that right, minting errors can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. From double strikes to off-center designs, these rare mistakes can make a huge difference in value. If you happen to find a 1974 Washington quarter with a minting error, then you may have just stumbled upon a true gem. Another important aspect to consider is the type of metal used in the 1974 quarters. These coins were made from a combination of copper and nickel, giving them a distinctive look and feel. The 1974 quarters, just like other years of Washington quarters, have a beautiful design that features George Washington on the obverse, with an eagle on the reverse side. The eagle symbolizes freedom, strength, and the enduring spirit of America, making the coin not only a piece of currency but a reminder of the nation's values. As we dig deeper into the potential value of the 1974 Washington quarter, it's important to note that even though millions of these coins were minted, only a small fraction of them remain in pristine, uncirculated condition. This scarcity is what makes the 1974 Washington quarter a highly desirable coin for collectors. The higher the grade of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. And if you happen to have a coin that's free from scratches, dents, or discoloration, you could be looking at something much more valuable than you might have thought. And now, the moment you've been waiting for: how much is the 1974 Washington quarter really worth? While most quarters from this era typically hold only face value unless in pristine condition, a 1974 Washington quarter in excellent shape can fetch a surprisingly high price. In fact, an uncirculated 1974 Washington quarter could be worth as much as $73,370. Yes, you read that right, $73,370. Imagine finding this quarter among your collection or even in your pocket change. That's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know when you might come across a coin that could change your financial future. The value of rare coins, especially those in near-perfect condition or with minting errors, continues to rise as collectors seek them out. So, next time you're sorting through your change or going through an old jar of coins, be sure to check for those 1974 Washington quarters. Pay attention to the mint mark, the condition, and whether the coin has any errors. Who knows? You might just have a quarter that's worth thousands of dollars. Today, we're diving into a special coin, the 1983 Washington quarter dollar. While many people may overlook this quarter, it could actually be worth more than you think. You won't want to miss this video as we uncover just how much this coin can fetch in today's market. The Washington quarter, a staple in U.S. currency, has been in circulation for decades, and the 1983 version is no exception. But what makes this particular year interesting? Well, the 1983 Washington quarter comes from a time when coin production in the United States was transitioning. This period marked a time of steady change in the U.S. economy, and while many quarters from this era were produced in large numbers, the 1983 Washington quarter has become a significant coin in the world of collectors. If you've ever taken a close look at a 1983 Washington quarter, you've probably noticed the iconic design on the obverse. It features George Washington's portrait, the first president of the United States, whose likeness has graced the quarter since 1932. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see the majestic eagle, which represents freedom and strength, two values that are central to American identity. But while the design itself is meaningful, what really makes the 1983 Washington quarter stand out in the collector's market is the mint mark. You see, mint marks are small letters found on coins that indicate which U.S. mint facility produced the coin. The 1983 Washington quarter was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. The coins from Philadelphia typically don't have a mint mark, while the ones minted in Denver carry a small D mint mark. So, why is the 1983 Washington quarter so valuable? Well, it comes down to a few important factors. First, we need to look at the rarity of the coin in exceptional condition. Most of the 1983 Washington quarters were released into circulation and used in everyday transactions, meaning that many of them are heavily worn and damaged. The value of the coin really depends on its condition, specifically, whether it is uncirculated or in mint state. If you're lucky enough to find a 1983 Washington quarter in excellent, uncirculated condition, you could be holding a coin that is far more valuable than its face value. Coins that are free from damage, scratches, and discoloration are highly sought after by collectors. A well-preserved coin, with sharp details and minimal signs of wear, will often fetch a higher price in the marketplace. Another important aspect to consider is minting errors. Sometimes, coins are struck with small imperfections or mistakes during production, which can make them extremely rare and valuable. Errors like double strikes, off-center minting, or unusual die cracks can make a coin unique, and collectors love to get their hands on these rarities. A minting error on a 1983 Washington quarter could dramatically increase its worth, making it an even more desirable item for collectors and investors alike. The 1983 Washington quarter is also significant because it represents a time of transition in U.S. coinage. While the design of the coin remained relatively unchanged, it was part of a larger effort to modernize U.S. currency, especially as the country moved into the 1980s. This era saw a shift in the economy and the way people interacted with currency, and the 1983 quarter serves as a snapshot of that period in U.S. history. You might be wondering how much a 1983 Washington quarter is actually worth. Well, like many coins, the value can fluctuate depending on its condition and any unique features it may have. However, for those in excellent condition, uncirculated or near mint, the value can skyrocket far beyond its face value. In fact, a well-preserved 1983 Washington quarter could be worth $67,482, that's right, $67,482 for a single 1983 Washington quarter. Now, you might be thinking, how can this be? But it's true. Collectors are always on the lookout for rare coins in exceptional condition, and the 1983 Washington quarter fits that category perfectly if it's in pristine shape. So, if you happen to have one in your collection, make sure to check its condition. You could be sitting on a small fortune. As always, if you've got any old coins lying around or you've inherited a coin collection, it's worth taking a closer look at what you have. Coins like the 1983 Washington quarter can surprise you with their value, and even small changes in condition can lead to big differences in price. So, next time you come across one of these quarters, pay attention to the details. You might just have a rare and valuable coin on your hands. Thank you for joining us today as we explored the fascinating world of the 1983 Washington quarter dollar. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting discovery. Until next time, happy collecting!